Hello there, David Risley here with the Blog Marketing Academy at blogmarketingacademy.com. Today I want to talk about Twitter. Do you use Twitter still? I mean, let's just be honest here. Personally, with me, my relationship with Twitter has definitely changed a few times. I used to think it was a bigger deal. Then I went through stages. Let's just put it that way. Like a lot of bloggers, I have used it. I built up a following and I used it to interact with others in my marketplace. But like a lot of people, I felt Twitter just got to be super noisy and my enthusiasm for the platform dropped. To be honest, I slowly shifted away from actually using Twitter. I barely ever used it, and almost all the posts that I made were automated. I mean, I hate to admit it. Everybody talks about engagement and all that, but I just wasn't engaged. I was basically just blasting Twitter. Essentially, I was just link dropping my latest stuff to Twitter, and otherwise just not paying a heck of a lot of attention to the profile. And even though I was dropping those links out to over 14,000 followers that I had on Twitter, the results were a reflection of exactly the energy that I was giving it. In other words, pretty much nothing, okay? Twitter was almost zilch as a traffic source to the Blog Marketing Academy. It seemed as if Twitter shifted, okay? It seems like it got really political. We've seen a lot of that on Twitter. It seems as if Twitter is just more of a platform for people in the media, for politicians, for celebrities. It's a place for them to vent off over things which, quite frankly, they probably should shut up about. And then those tweets end up becoming the basis for entire news stories a lot of the times. And so it works for reporters. It works for people who are opinion leaders, who are being listened to because they want to react and be outraged about it or whatever. For the rest of us, it ain't like that. I mean, we're not Donald Trump here, right? We're people with much smaller followings in comparison. So recently, though, I decided to give Twitter another go-around, okay? Only this time I was going to do it very differently. See, Twitter has shifted. There's no doubt about it. For some, it's a legit broadcast medium. Like for people like the president, it definitely is a legit broadcast medium. For most of us, though, I now see Twitter as primarily a relationship platform. In other words, you don't use Twitter to broadcast things, but you instead use it to engage with specific people. Now, one little push that I had on this was a dude that I'm connected to on Facebook. And like me, he said that Twitter was pretty much dead to him, but that he decided to give it another chance. And what he did is he began to engage with specific people that he cared about connecting with. In his case, he used it to connect to the author of a book that he feels like changed his life. And he actually sparked up an exchange with the author of that book, which is a pretty cool idea. But see, the idea here is that he used Twitter as a person-to-person platform. It was a one-to-one platform, not one-to-many exclusively. And I know full well that Twitter can work well for that. I mean, there's a lot of movers and shakers out there with Twitter accounts. Some of them are more famous than others, and they're all on Twitter. Their username is the same as your username in terms of importance. They might have a little check mark next to it or whatever, but we all have a Twitter profile with equal potential. And so it's a very equal opportunity playing field, and it does give opportunities to reach out and connect with people in ways that you couldn't do before. My biggest problem with Twitter is the noise. So to make Twitter useful again, I had to make some changes to how I personally use Twitter. At the time, this is before I made some shifts, I was personally following close to 3,000 people. A lot of them were people that I, quite frankly, had no earthly idea who the heck they were. Okay, I just followed them because they followed me, and it was this whole thing that back in the day was a thing that you did with Twitter, but it was stupid. I mean, auto-following is idiotic, and even if you're doing it manually, it's still idiotic. So my Twitter feed was just full of garbage. There was a lot of crap coming across the Twitter feed that I just did not give a crap about seeing. I didn't even know who they were. And so what I did is I unfollowed pretty much all of them. Okay? It's no judgment about them. It's just that I didn't know them. So what the hell do I need to pay attention to them for? And so that's what I did. I peeled my follower list down to about 200 people. And that's what I do. I only follow about 200 people now. I may follow other people at some point. This isn't some weird arbitrary number I came up with. I mean, I know it seems as if 200 is a pretty round number. But the point is that what I do is I'm actually treating Twitter with the experience of truly following people that I want to follow. And the rest of them, if I don't want to follow them because I really don't care what they say, I don't follow them. Because when you follow all that stuff, that's what makes Twitter into a noisy and less useful place, okay? So I made it less noisy by simply removing all the noise and instead following the people that I truly wanted to follow what they said. I think the days of following mass numbers of people in some vain effort to auto-follow your way to a big follower list are over. They've been over a long time, actually. Twitter is all about person-to-person engagement. It's not really a broadcast platform unless you're one of these special cases like the president, okay? That is, unless you've already got a really big following who they're really active on Twitter, okay? And most of us are not really in that situation. For us bloggers who have been looking at Twitter as a place to distribute our content, the workability of that is unfortunately limited. It's just a noise thing. The truth is most people won't see what you're tweeting out there. I think if you're going to bother with Twitter anymore, that you think of it as a way to originate communications to others in your marketplace and to have genuine exchanges with those people. Like think of it in terms of a tool to connect with other people, not just to talk at them and hope they notice. You should be replying to other people more than you simply post your own stuff. Okay, so we've got to make Twitter personal again if it's going to actually be of use to us. It's really the only workable use of Twitter these days, in my opinion. If you're trying to see how Twitter works into your own content marketing strategies these days, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so you can still drop your blog post links in there. I'm still going to do it. Okay, but even better would be to spark a conversation, start up a thread, make it engaging, get people to talk back to you, and reach out to people directly. Don't wait for them to talk to you. How about you start the conversation? How about you replying to other people? Okay. If you want to connect with me, you can, of course, follow me over on Twitter. My username is @DavidRisley. Happy to connect with you. But again, I'm just going to practice what I preach. Only follow me if you actually want to follow along with stuff I say. I will not promise that I'm going to follow you back because I'm being much more selective about that. It's nothing personal. It's just that I have to make Twitter useful for myself, just like you need to do the same thing for your own Twitter profile. Otherwise, it's just not a useful tool. Okay? So how are you using Twitter? Have you given up on it already? Do you still use it a lot? Get back to me and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. You can just email me at david@blogmarketingacademy.com, and I'd love to hear what you're personally doing with Twitter these days. And maybe I will bring it up on a future episode of Coffee Break, and we'll all see what each other is doing here. I'm really interested in what the collective mindset out there is with regard to Twitter with bloggers and how you guys are trying to use it these days. Okay, so hopefully I'll hear from you. Again, that's david@blogmarketingacademy.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. See you next time.